We're going to start in constructive rest pose. So come to lie down on your back, knees bent and the soles of your feet flat on the ground. And then go ahead and separate the feet about as wide as the mat and let the knees come together. And spread the arms out and away from the body with the palms facing up. And if it feels comfortable for you, you can go ahead and close your eyes and allow yourself to settle into your space, arrive and ground onto your mat. Let your body be heavy here and start to become aware of the sensation of your body on the ground. So notice all of the meeting points between the body and the ground. So the back of your head and the ground, the back of your arms and the ground, the back of your hands and the ground, upper back and the ground, middle back and the ground, lower back and the ground, and the soles of your feet and the ground. Feel the body sliding down effortlessly on the ground. And now become aware of your body breathing. So without changing the breath, notice your inhales and exhales. Notice the breath move in and out effortlessly through your nose. Notice your body become heavier and heavier with each breath that you take. Observe your body breathing. And then before we move on to the next pose, go ahead and take a nice long deep breath in through your nose all the way to the top. And then out through your mouth, all the air out. When you're ready, step your feet in and hug the knees into your chest. And then you can go ahead and straighten the arms so your hands are right on the kneecaps, the arms are straight, and you're just letting your feet dangle here. Now go ahead and step your feet back onto the ground, and when you're ready, straighten the legs forward. Go ahead and cross the right leg over the left leg. Reach the arms up and by the ears and grab either opposite elbows or opposite forearms. Side bend your torso over to the left. So you're making like a banana shape with your body here. So you're gently stretching the right side of your torso here. Allow yourself to breathe into the stretch without forcing. And again, if it feels like too much, you can always bring your torso a little bit more towards the center. So notice how it feels and make it work for your body. And now come back to your center, unwind the legs and the arms, and we'll switch sides. So cross the left leg over the right leg, reach the arms up, cross the arms, and then side bend over to the right. So now the opening and the stretch is happening on the left side of your body, left side of your torso. And just a few more breaths here. So not a long hold on this one. And now we'll start to make our way back to the center, unwind the arms, unwind the legs, and rebend the knees, soles of the feet flat on the ground. Pause here for a moment and breathe. And now we'll set up for a reclined twist. So go ahead and lift your hips off the ground and turn them over to the left side of the mat. Bring the knees into the chest and then turn over to the right. So knees are somewhat in line with the hips here, maybe a little bit above, in line with the belly button. See what works for you here. And then spread the left arm out to the left, opening the chest and the left shoulder. And then you can turn the gaze over to the left shoulder, or you can gaze up at the ceiling or the sky. And breathe here. A few more breaths here on this side. And then start to come back to center here. Pause. And breathe, arms by the sides. And another side, so lift the hips first, turn them over to the right, knees to the left. Right arm goes to the right. So bringing the knees in line with the hips here if you can, maybe a little bit above, so in line with the belly button. Just notice how it feels in your body and then adjust from there, making it work for you. Breathe into the stretch. Maybe finding that same body ground awareness that we did at the beginning of the practice. Noticing any body sensations as you move through the poses. And last few breaths here on this side. And then we'll start to make our way back to center. Set your feet back onto the ground. Pause. Now we're going to flip over. So go ahead and either straighten the legs or just flip over here. So you're going to lie down onto your stomach with your legs straight behind you. And then go ahead and bend your elbows. Make a pillow with your hands. So stack your hands on top of each other and rest your forehead down. So I call this reverse shavasana. So you're just resting your body onto your stomach here rather than onto your back. And there may be a slight back bend happening here for you. So just notice how that feels. And then we'll be here for a couple of minutes or so, noticing how the pose feels for you, noticing the body, noticing the breath. Allow yourself to quiet down. And just a few more moments here in this variation. Allowing yourself to breathe into the pose. If something doesn't feel right, feel free to move around and make it work for you. And last few breaths here. And then you can start to slide your hands underneath the shoulders, tuck your toes, come to hands and knees. We'll move through some cat-cows here. So inhale, lift the chest, arch the spine. Exhale, round. And again, breathe in, lift the chest. And exhale, cat pose, round the spine, push the ground. Few more like this. So breathe in, lift the chest. And breathe out, press into the ground, away from the ground. Few more like this. Moving at your own pace. And again, inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, round the upper back. Last round. And exhale. Coming into child's pose, so point the toes behind you, set the hips back, head down onto your mat. And you can separate the knees so the torso rests in between the thighs, and you can have the arms bent instead of straight forward. So notice how that works for you. And of course, another option you can try is the thighs closer together and arms straight forward. Just noticing how that feels. And just a few more breaths here in child's pose. And then whenever you're ready, start to lift the torso up. And then we're going to come to lie down onto the back again. Bend the knees, also the feet, flat on the ground, arms by the sides. And now bring the soles of the feet together and open the knees wide, coming into reclined butterfly. And we're not going to be here for too long, although you are totally welcome to hold the pose for as long as you wish. You just pause the video. And then go ahead and hug the knees into your chest. Give yourself a nice big hug. And then go ahead and release your feet back down. Straighten the legs forward. Arms by the sides with your palms facing up. And separate the feet as wide as the mat, heels in, toes out. And just setting up for our final pose, Shavasana, corpse pose. Allow yourself to rest here. If you can, close the eyes, just like we did at the beginning in constructive rest. So if you notice any discomfort around the lower back, feel free to go back to that pose. You can bend the knees and step the soles of the feet flat on the ground. That'll be a little bit more comfortable in the lower back. If you're okay here, legs straight, arms out. Let your body be heavy. Let yourself be heavy on the ground. And you might also come back to that same body ground awareness. Noticing all of the meeting points between body and ground. Noticing how your body becomes heavier and heavier with each breath that you take. And then you are welcome to stay here a lot longer. I recommend anywhere from 5 to 15, even 20 minutes in Shavasana. So you make it work for you. Do whatever works for you today. Tomorrow might be different. So if all you can do is 3 minutes, tomorrow you might do 10 or 15. And then again, staying longer here for as long as it works for you. Thank you so much for your practice today. And I'll see you next time.